Okay guys, now we are going to see what are the tools or what are the applications we need to write and to execute a particular HTML type of technology. It is very simple guys, you don't need anything at all, you simply need two things. You only need two things guys. Here things in the sense two applications. Yeah. You need only two applications guys, that's it, nothing else. One is a particular IDE. What is that? IDE, and the another one is a browser. These are the two things we want to write and to execute a particular HTML related technology. What is an IDE? IDE means integrated development environment. Integrated development environment guys. Here a particular type of technology or a particular type of tool we are going to use. A particular type of tool we are going to use to write our code, and we are going to save that particular code. Whenever we want, we are going to execute that thing. That's why we call this thing as integrated development environment. This is one type of environment it is going to build to us to write, to execute, to save, to recorrect, to changes, to modify all the applications what we are having. We can perform all those things by using an IDE. So we are having different types of IDEs right now, each and every person using. By default, we all having one IDE. Without installing and without downloading in your system, we all of us having one basic IDE guys. That is what we call as Notepad. Notepad is also one type of IDE which helps you to save a HTML related code, and it is going to let you to modify the code whatever you built and whatever you written initially also. After that, we are having the other IDs which you need to download, the other IDs which you need to execute. To do all those things, we are going to use Sublime, and we are going to use the other thing is Atom. Mostly all the developers uses VS Code. VS Code is also an excellent IDE. It helps you a lot when you are in a developer. When you are in a developer mode, if you are a developer, it really helps you guys. But when you are working, when you are executing, and when you are learning stage, at that point of time, these three things are better. Atom, Sublime, and Notepad. These three things are enough to you to learn what is this technology, like all those things. Not only for HTML guys, for other technologies also, it is better to use Sublime or Atom or Notepad. And coming to browser. What is this browser? Okay, IDE is for writing a code, saving a code, modifying the code, like that we can do. Then what's the advantage and what's the need of a browser in here? Guys, you are going to see your output in the browser only. To check your output, what type of code you written, what type of answer you are going to get, you can find all that information through the browser only. For output purpose, we are going to use. For output purpose, we are going to use this particular browser. So we all know that Chrome is one excellent browser, and we are having Mozilla Firefox, and we are having Microsoft Edge. Like a lot of browsers are there. In my perspective, I am going to use, for this entire course, I am going to use Sublime, and the browser what I am going to use is Chrome browser. That's it. Sublime and Chrome browser, these are the two things I am going to use. If you really want to download a Sublime IDE, simply go to browser and search for Sublime in here. That's it. Sublime Text 3 or Sublime Text. Then you are going to see something like this. Click on download, and in here you are going to download Windows 64-bit. Based on your OS, you are going to download minus 64-bit. I'm already having Sublime, so I'm not going to download this, install any other things. Guys, in installation process also, you don't need to do anything. Simply click next, next, next. That's it. That is what we all do whenever we install or whenever we download any new applications. That's it. And here is my Chrome browser. I'm already having a Chrome browser also in here. Okay, good. So, sir, you are saying that, sir in the sense me, you are saying that by using HTML we can build a website. But I hear something that there are two types of websites you are having. There are two types of websites you are having. What are they? Yeah guys, we are having two types of websites. And we can also say something like two types of web pages. Two types of web pages. What are they? First one is static page. Static page or static website. And the other thing is dynamic page. Dynamic page, guys. Static page, dynamic page, or dynamic website. It is also dynamic website. I think somebody don't use spaces. Good. Static pages and dynamic pages. So by using HTML, which page I can build? Guys, by using HTML, you can build only static pages only. You can build a static website. More than that, we can't do, because completely this particular HTML technology is going to let you to build a website or web page which is going to be visible to each and every person, whoever uses that particular URL, whoever uses that particular URL or that link what is hosted in any Amazon S3 buckets or some other platforms, Azure. By using all those things, we are going to host our applications, something like Heroku, in all those things. Simply by using that particular URL, you can access that particular web page. That is what we call as a static page. In that static page, you are not going to perform anything. Perform in the sense, if I come here and if I search for Google, what happens? I'm going to get a page related to Google. What is Google? What type of information I can do? Like all the stuff I'm going to get. If I come here once again into my search bar and I'm going to execute something like Facebook, then Facebook related information is going to load and is going to visible to me in my web page. This is what we call as dynamic page, guys. Dynamic page in the sense which is going to take one input from user. It is going to store that information and it is going to perform some actions based on the input whatever is the user is entering. That is what we call as dynamic page. But for building and for creating a dynamic page, guys, you definitely need another programming technology, or we call that one also as scripting language. Definitely, guys, for building a dynamic web page or website, we definitely need one scripting language. That is what we call as JavaScript. Mostly all the developers whoever working with HTML, they all must aware of JavaScript and what can we do using JavaScript, like all those things they need to learn and they need to know. This is about dynamic page. So first of all, let's learn static page. From static page to you can simply connect that particular web page to dynamic page also, guys. No need to worry at all. So we have to learn and we have to know what is the static page, what are the things present in this particular HTML, by using which tools and by using which keywords, elements, tags we are going to use for building a static page. Like all those things you are going to learn. From that point to another point, something like CSS, something like JavaScript, all those things we can use some connections later onwards. So this is about information related to static page and dynamic page and about the tool and about the browser. So I'm going to take a new file and in this file I'm going to show you how to save a HTML page. That's it. In this particular video, I'm simply going to show you how to save a particular HTML page. After that, we are going to learn one by one what are the things we are going to use in a particular HTML page. Like all those things we will learn. So let's see how to save a HTML file, because saving a HTML file is very important, guys. Then only you can update your code, then only you can execute your information. For that, I'm going to close these things. I'm going to close this one too. In a Sublime, I'm simply going to take a new file. New file. Now I'm going to click on File, Save, or there is a shortcut, guys. Ctrl S is the shortcut. By clicking on Ctrl S, it is going to give you a particular tab like that. You need to simply select a particular location where you want to save. I would like to save this file in my desktop itself. So click in here. I'm going to give the file name. We always need to give the file name, guys. First of all, my file name, what I'm going to give in here is first followed by .html. You have to clearly mention .html, guys. Then only your file is going to converted. Then only your file is going to created in a browser understandable language. So why? Because why I am using .html is whenever you save this file, if you execute this thing, then your browser can understand, okay, the user is trying to work on a particular HTML technology related code, a piece of code, whatever he's carrying, like that. That's the reason we need to use .html in here. Click on save. That's it. We don't need to do anything at all. Simply select the file, Ctrl S, and give the file name with .html extension. Let's go and see what happened in our web page. I came here. There it is. In my desktop, I just created a first.html. Did you see in here? Here. And along with first.html, there is a particular icon is also representing before the name. What is this icon? This icon is completely your default browser, what your system is carrying and what you are carrying. Based on that particular default browser, you are going to execute all your information, which is your first.html page is carrying. That particular file is carrying. We can also call this thing as file also, guys. That's it. This is about saving a file and what are the difference between a static page and dynamic page, all that thing. From next video onwards, we are going to learn and we are going to see one by one. Thank you. Have a great day.